Hello, good people. Hello, thinkers. Another moment, another opportunity to think out loud by talking with intention, reflecting with purpose, just to reignite you. Now, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lebohang Teki. Today's episode is honestly about my people, my community. I didn't realize how many people I know until I've opened the YouTube channel. On that note, let's get to it. If you are a new subscriber, if you are a newcomer, please welcome, sit back and hold tight as we think out loud. If you're a regular, hi thinker. I honestly want to thank everybody that has been subscribing, everybody that have been sharing my channel, for people to subscribe, telling your neighbors, your colleagues and your friends. I don't take it light. How does it feel to know a YouTuber? Anyway, we're not here about that. Talking about thanking everyone, today I want to talk about the importance of community. The power of having a community. On my first episode, I shared the things that helped me through a difficult time, and one of it's a community, which is the biggest. Before we start, I have to tell the truth. I had recorded this video about a community. It was supposed to be my second episode, and for some reason, I don't know why, I chickened out. Sunday at church, one of the pastors during the announcement decided to talk about the importance of a community. For me, that was a confirmation that, Lebohang Teki, you need to do that community episode. So this is my second take, and I had to rethink it through, and I realized that actually that's what the enemy doesn't want. Doesn't want us to have a community to belong to, because God speaks through his people. So if you are not around people, or you don't have a community, especially that listens to God, it's good to listen to God by yourself and for yourself. But once emotions overclouds your hearing from God, that's where the community can step in and say, oh, what did the Lord say? What does the word say? Now, why do I like and love community so much? You know, and let's be honest, being around people and having a community, it does have a negative side of it, but I choose to focus on the positives today, and which is the impact that happened in my life and that shaped the outcome or my view of certain things. Firstly, I grew up as the only child, no siblings, and I did not like that. I wish I had a sibling. I wish I had community. Basically, I hear stories, especially from my husband, having people around, sleeping over, cousins, full house. I never had that, and I've always wanted a space with many people, and that's where my heart for first thing that I love about having a community is having a sense of belonging. The enemy thrives when you are alone in your own corner with your own thoughts and emotion. But a community is able to give you a different perspective, to give you a different side of things. But not only that, you having a sense of, I have people that I can go to, that I can celebrate with, that I can cry with, that I can rejoice with, that I can just sit and be me with. And we'll get to a point of different kind of communities. But honestly, the sense of belonging about community is what I love. Growing up as the only child and finding myself in spaces where I felt like I didn't belong. It doesn't matter what I've tried, I was just not fitting in. And obviously, eventually I found my community, but because of that, it was so difficult to navigate through other spaces. I didn't grow up having high school friends, varsity friends, primary friends, you know, because I just didn't belong. And that sense of belonging, I do feel like it's important for a person. It does have an element of boosting your confidence. It does have an element to help you reflect and get different counsels. And therefore, that's why I love the community. Second benefit of a community, a support system. I know as people, we tend to get shy or want to be on our own when we are going through a difficult time. But I want to encourage you to have that kind of community that you can be with when it's joyful and that you can be with when it's difficult. When it's difficult, have a community that can mirror or help you through the difficulties so that you don't sit on it. A support system, let's be honest, we often need support when things are low on our side. And have a community that won't remind you that, we did this, but I love my communities. On my low days, they can pick you up and say, you are better than this. Let's walk it together. Let's do it together. Now I understand why the word encouraged us to continue or be in continuous fellowship with each other. It is not good for you to be alone. I don't know how do you get to be alone. Yes, there's time that you have to be set apart, but I do encourage a continual, healthy community that you can belong. The third thing that I like about a community will keep you accountable. We live in a generation where you move as you please, you do things as you like, but you have to be accountable at some point. It's easier on systems like school because you have to be accountable to the teacher. Church, you have to be accountable to the pastors or the leaders of the church. Workspace, you have to be accountable to someone. But in life in general, which is the most important community that I'm referencing to, you have to be accountable to someone. Don't let yourself to move as you please in this world, because that is the most dangerous space you can ever be, because you don't get to see a different perspective. You don't get to see another view that could actually be better. It's important. I highly recommend mentorship and healthy friendships. I highly recommend belonging to a church, because that's where you can bounce what's happening inside you just to see a different view. And if you wish to still continue with your view, you can gladly do so, but you would know that there's other different sides that you would have had options to. Community has a power to grow and develop you. Through shared experiences and intentional reflections, you are able to grow, and you can only do that through a community. It's healthy and it's okay to reflect alone, but you don't get to see other views than yourselves. That's why you have to have a community, because then the different perspective comes and the intentionality in growing comes. For me to open this YouTube channel, I joined a community of grafting healthy habits, healthy visionary habits. The goal was write down what you're committing to in the next 30 days. Stay disciplined and be accountable in that community, that you're doing what you need to do on a daily basis. So we have to report there. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to achieve. This is what I did today. And if it was not for that, I doubt I would have been this consistent with my YouTube channel. And yes, it's tough. How do I manage it through every other responsibilities I have? And I do have a system. So this is my system. And I had to think of the system because I have to be accountable to that community that I've joined. This is the system I use. I have days during the week where are my office days. Office days, I'm already dolled up, face is done, dressed up, ready for shoot, camera ready basically like today. After work, I set up and I record. So obviously I plan and prep and write my scripts and everything that I need to do. But what am I saying? If it was not for that community, I wouldn't even be able to develop systems that could help me. Encouragement from others builds resilience. I've heard this from someone and I can really attest. Have you ever been through something that you feel like there's no way out until you talk with someone else? And for some reason, there's many way outs. That's the power of community. But we have to be intentional about it. I want to really emphasize this community thing because that's one of the reasons why I've built a YouTube. To have a community that we share the same perspective, but you draw from my experiences to better your experiences, to take the lessons and implement, because every journey is important. What you've been through, someone needs it for their next, but we sit on it because we don't want to be in a community to belong. On that note, I'd like to close this chapter of community with my favorite verse. And this is in Hebrews 10 from 24 to verse 25, it reads as follows. And let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds. Verse 25. Not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. May you go back and find that community that speaks to you and who you are. Stick to it, respect it, value it. Bear in mind that what you have with your community, treat it with delicacy, because the things that you share with the community should be for you and community. Let your community be a safe space. I pray that you find that safe space. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Lebohang Teki. This is Thinking Out Loud by talking with intention, reflecting with purpose, just to reignite you. Until next time.